It's kind of about, I guess, the sort of essay question at the centre of the book is, why is politics sort of going a bit weird these days? Why is it so volatile? Why is politics as unpredictable as it is? Why is populism on both left and right doing so well when the politics of the centre and moderation is doing pretty badly? And so it's my attempt to try and provide some answers, also of course drawing from my own experiences, on the kind of increasing polarisation of politics.
Did the book reflect your role in the coalition government?
Well, it's obviously written from my point of view. It doesn't pretend to be. I'm not an academic. I have my own strong subjective views on things, and so obviously my account of my own experiences in politics can only be written from my own point of view, and I don't pretend that it is a scientifically objective account, but I hope it's an interesting account to people of all political persuasions who are interested in politics.
So why did you decide till now before you published the book?
Because it took a little while to write it. That's principally why. So, and also I wanted to wait until the Brexit referendum was over. And in fact I had to rewrite the book a fair amount because I thought we were going to stay in the European Union. So after the 23rd of June I had to rewrite bits of the book quite extensively to reflect this momentous decision on the 23rd of June, which in my view, as I explain in the book, is in many respects part and parcel of this wider volatility in politics.
So with regarding to Brexit, basically, before Brexit, like your role in the government, in the coalition government, what do you regret most?
I guess the biggest regret I have is that for one reason or another, and I explain this in the book, I didn't manage and we didn't succeed to reform the way politics is done. There was a great appetite for a short period of time in the run up to the 2010 general election and in the wake of the MP's expenses scandals to change the way that politics was done. And I failed to anticipate, I think, the sort of power of the vested interests on both right and left who block everything from House of Lords reform to party funding reform to electoral reform. So that's probably my biggest regret.
So what's your relationship right now with students?
Ask them.
In your own perspective?
Well, I don't think any group of people in society think the same. I mean, I think some students obviously will have some opinions and others will have others. I don't think people are uniform in their opinions at all.
And finally, what's your take on the government proposal for the boundary review?
For the boundary review? Well, I think it's wrong in principle to introduce such a big constitutional change with such lopsided electoral consequences in isolation. I think there's a perfectly good case to say that you should change the boundaries. But if you do that, if your concern is that the system should be fairer, then you should also introduce electoral reform, you should introduce party funding reform. So you have to ask yourself, why is it this reform on its own that is being pursued? And it's being pursued for naked political advantage on the part of the Conservatives, which is why I blocked it in government, because I accepted it and always felt it was an acceptable part of a wider change of our political system. But just to do it on its own is just a sort of naked power grab on the part of the Conservatives.